What's up, YouTube? Jason with Stone Mountain Barbecue coming at you with another video. Tonight we're going to be cooking up some beef ribs inside the house. I get asked a lot of questions, family, friends, and people that watch my videos, and they ask me how I can do things that I do outside on the pit inside the house. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to cook some beef ribs inside the house, and I think they're going to end up delicious. Y'all stay tuned. We'll see what we can do. Alright guys, so the rub we're going to be using tonight is one, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably see me post about it a little while back. I was in our local grocery store and I saw a fellow looking at me and I was like, I don't know if he's laughing at me or making fun of me, but it ended up he knew me from YouTube. He had watched some of my videos before and he worked there. And we got to talking, going back and forth, and he asked me if I'd ever tried some of their rub that they use. And I hadn't, so he hooked me up. I really appreciate it. I really wish I could remember your name. I'm not going to butcher it by even guessing what it is. But if you're watching, you know who you are. I really appreciate it, man. They call this Texas Tumbler. Now, this smells more like any barbecue rub that you have ever smelled in your life. It smells really, really good. It's got a really sweet smell to it. And that's what we're going to use on these beef ribs. So let's get these things trimmed up and get them coated. And then we're going to throw them in a skillet to sear them up. Alright guys, so here's our beef ribs. We've got about 2 full bones and then 2 quarter bones here. You can see we got a pretty heavy fat cap on this side over here. And then we've got our nice little inspection stamp over here. Now this meat did come from Appalachian Meats over at Gent Farms in Lebanon, Virginia. So thanks to you guys. I hope these things are delicious. We're going to take a little bit of this fat off this side. And just because I'm weird, I'm going to take that stamp off of there too. So we're just going to get our thing here. And I went way far on that one, but that's okay. Pretty much just going to take this fat cap off. It's hard fat. It would take a lot for that to render off of there. You just want to take as little meat as possible whenever you do this. And you want to make sure you have a pretty sharp knife. And I think that's going to have us pretty good for what we're trying to do. We're cooking to eat, not to compete. So there we go. You can spend a whole lot of time cutting on these things. So there's that. I'm not going to remove any of this membrane off the back. However, I am going to score it up just so that it can come apart a little bit easier once we get them nice and cooked up. Going to take a little bit of olive oil. I'll clean my bottle, guys. A little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to do both sides, even though it probably doesn't really matter. I'm going to take a little bit of the rub, and we're just going to kind of sprinkle it on there. I'm not really going to go very heavy on this, because like I said, we are going to sear this in the skillet. And there you have it. Nasty hands. Pretty piece of meat. We're going to let this sit for just a minute, let our skillet come up to temperature, and we'll be back when we're throwing it in the pan. Alright guys, we've got a great color on these beef ribs. We're going to throw them in the skillet over here, cast iron skillet. We're going to go meat side down. We're going to let it sear real good, flip it over, and then we're going to add some garlic and some beef broth, and then we're going to throw it in the oven. We're just going to let that go for just a minute. And while it's cooking, I am going to throw this garlic and juice in here, just around it. It's going to give it a really good flavor. It's going to get a little bit smoky. Now if you wanted to, You can throw some potatoes, some onions, some carrots, things like this in here, and go ahead and get them cooking with the beef. And then that way when you put it in the oven, it's almost like having a pot roast. I'm not going to cook this too pot roast like, because I still want it to be on the bone. But that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. That's pretty much what we're going to do. We'll be back whenever we're throwing in the beef broth and wrapping this thing in foil. Y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, so we've got our oven preheating. Our meat side is seared up real nice. We went ahead and flipped it over. Our garlic is turning nice and brown. So we're going to add some beef broth to this. And then we're going to dust it with a little bit more of that Texas tumbler. Now as y'all know, I don't really ever measure anything. We're just wanting to put enough in here to braise this in. And I don't know, that's probably about a cup and a half. And then we're just going to take this nicely tamped container of Texas tumbler that my wife so graciously took care of for me. And we're just going to kind of put some of this in the broth, around the broth, on the ribs. Because now this, like I said, is going to have a really barbecue-y flavor. Now after we're done with this and it comes out of the oven in about an hour and a half, we're actually going to take some of this liquid that renders and we're going to try to thicken it up a little bit and have a nice glaze with the Texas Rumbler and maybe some other barbecue sauces that we have. So we'll see what that turns out like. Off the cuff, guys, off the cuff. I'm about to burn my hand off here. And now, for the steam. The steam is hot. Right around there. Hold on. I don't cook inside, guys. There we go. Let's get this in the oven. We're setting on about 325 to 350. And we're going to let it go about an hour, hour and a half. We're going to pull it out, make sure it's good and tender. And like I said, we're going to try to reduce that sauce down to make a nice little glaze. See what happens, guys. Y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, we just pulled these beef ribs out of the oven. They were in there right at an hour and a half, maybe a little bit over an hour and 45. Either way, they look amazing. Just look at them right here. Would you look at it? Look at that. Look how tender. Oh yeah. Oh, don't need that. Probably, oh no, don't even need that one either, but we're going to leave that there just for vidya purposes. And we're going to take this little one out here. That's my Wolverine tusks there. Alright guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make our glaze. And so I've got the juice we rendered out, and with the beef stock, the beef broth there, we're going to take some A1. I'm going to shake that up. And we're going to put about that much in it, give or take. I mean, whatever you want to do. And then I've got some Stubbs Sweet Heat barbecue sauce. It's going to give us our sugary sweetness. That's going to, I'm not going to be able to open this. That's going to let this thicken up, and it's just going to be a really, really, really good little saucy glaze. I wanted to use the A1 to still give it that steak sauce because it is a nice little piece of meat, beef, but then that sweet heat and then that beef broth that's got all of that seasoning and things like that. And then we're going to take a little bit of that Texas tumbler, not a whole lot because now this stuff is sweet. About a tablespoon. I'll actually give you a measurement of that. Actually, that was probably a teaspoon. We're going to bring this up to about a simmer, let it reduce down, and then we're going to coat these things and I'm going to taste them. And I'm pretty excited about them. These came out, I mean, this was in the oven. These came out pretty good. We'll be right back. Alright, so we've got our sauce pretty much rendered down as thick as I'm going to be able to get it. And then we're going to cut these things in half. Remember, this one was falling off here, so... I mean, that ain't juicy or nothing. Jeez Louise. Let's get these things sauced up. We're just going to paint this on here. Still got those bits of garlic in that sauce. It's like a Picasso, you know? You never know what's going to end up looking like. But you always know it's going to be worth it. Now if I was doing this on the pit, I would take this glaze or this sauce and I would stick it back on the grill for a little while. And let it sticky up, get sticky. But we're gonna bite into one of these. I'm gonna try to make it look like it's still on the bone. That's for my thumbnail. I don't know how that works. Let's see what it tastes like. That sauce is super good. That rub is super sweet. Has a super huge barbecue flavor just off the top. Anything you would think of barbecue, that's what that's going to taste like. I want to try another. I'm salivating over here. Y'all can just leave me alone. It's still beefy. You know, we didn't put any smoke into it or anything like that like we would out on the pit. But it's still tender, juicy. Tastes awesome, guys. That rub, I don't know how you can find it. Like I said, it's called Texas Tumbler. And it's super sweet. It'd be super good if you like really sweet pork ribs. Be really good on that. I wanted to still get a barbecue flavor with this. That's why I put it on these beef ribs. Adding the A1 sauce with the stubs. Really brought everything together. Gave it a really good beefy flavor. That's how you do it, guys. If you want to know how to cook ribs in the house, beef ribs anyway, that's how I'm going to do it from now on. I wanted to try this out. I'm really pleased with it. This is going to be lunch for the next few days. We're on a diet plan, so we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. It's been a fun cook, guys. I appreciate you for watching. Be sure to check out all my social media links down below. Check out that PayPal link if you want to. If not, that's cool too. But always be sure to like. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. Thanks, guys. Y'all stick with me. We'll see what we can do. God bless.
Stop.
No.
You're on a diet plan.
I promise it's my last bite.
You've eaten like a third, almost a half of it.
It's only 2.5 pounds of meat.
So if you eat half of it, that's a pound of meat.
What are you talking about? Don't do math with me. It's hot.
Put it down.
I'm going to. I'm just separating it. There's a little piece of fat right here.